Welcome to the General's Gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to have your company on Minx Pocket today. It is a 2v2. Our teams for today will be Zarkcloud and Use M246 as our OKW.
And the allied is going to be Sturmpanther and Aerafield. So we have casted a lot of Sturmpanther, SOE being one of the most prominent clans when it comes to the team game community. We are on Minx Pocket, a 1v1 map that is on a 2v2 map pool for some reason. Wow, already locking in the armored, elite armored.
Don't ask us why, guys. We couldn't tell you. Well, I mean, we're on Minx Pocket, dude. Can you think of a situation where looking in armored is going to be a bad idea?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gonna be putting down some wire. Maybe he's preemptively putting the wire down so we can put some sandbags behind it. I don't know. Maybe he's just.
Maybe some pioneers get bored when they're capping points. So, yeah. It's good to keep your armed forces entertained. You can't have them sitting around getting lazy, like, I don't know, slacking off and smoking. You really need them to be active, you know, building wire. Make them feel like they're contributing to the war effort even when they're only capping points.
Don't they get veterancy every time they place down some barbed wire?
No.
They apply it that slightly faster?
They get a moral victory, but they no physical kind.
A lot of wire so far.
I really like that when this was opened up on Minx. It was a while ago, but it was so I'm not going to say stupid. I think it was a bad idea having just a single route from the center of the map.
Yeah, here as well was opened up.
Yeah.
Same with the old Kolodny. The old Kolodny was a lot worse than it is now. There wasn't as many flanking routes, so the maps have certainly improved a lot over the years, which I'm glad to see. And yeah, really throwing down a lot of these ghost wire. They can get shot down though, because they're not finished, obviously.
Yeah, if you get them to about a quarter, it's to the point where small arms really can't deal with them.
I think the reinforced wire is more durable than just the regular barbed wire and sandbags. Yeah. I mean, even in terms of the ghosting. What, a trench on the field point there with the Vickers. Very wide arc. Man, good luck flanking that, bro.
Not going to be a fun time. So it's actually a pretty common harassment point from what I remember. We used to play some team games on Minx before we decided to veto it back in the day. This is like really early 2v2s.
Yeah.
Kind of the first year of Coh2 2v2s or whenever Minx Pocket came out, we actually decided to play on it. It was, we kind of went for our fuel cap and then at some stages just ignored the sides and went just balls to the wall going for the opponent's fuel point.
Oh, this Kubel. He's going a little bit too deep, I think. Might be able to survive to the left, but the squad of Tommies there.
Yeah, looks like if he's fast enough, should be able to force this squad of infantry sections off.
The new platoon command post is ready.
Okay. Aerafield should be able to wipe this one. He deserves to. That was an excellent micro with the... No, he's going to have to retreat. Okay. Good micro on both sides there. The infantry section tried to avoid combat so it could snipe the Kubel, and in counterpoint, decided to go super aggressive with his infantry to make sure that the Kubel remains safe.
Meant the Vickers is away from his trench, so the fuel point's being capped by the Axis. The US player Sturmpanther has moved in. Universal Carry doesn't have any upgrades. It's not going to be too powerful just yet. But this is a great play to do if you can stall your opponent's fuel point. It's also a strat point that's being cut off as well.
Yeah.
And a fighting position being set up. It's a great spot too because it's going to be hard to flank that.
And it looks like our Axis are going to hold this one, Machine. It's not a nice treat to retreat from as well. There's actually a pretty considerable distance between, in particular, the right-hand player's base and the fuel point here. So retreats from your fuel point can be quite punishing. They generally allow enough time for sandbags or to be set up, or at least ghost ones in this case.
Oh wow! Is that going to be preventing the trench from being used? I don't know if it is, because you can probably just phase through that when you try and actually occupy the trench.
I guess we're going to find out. Well, he's shooting it down, so we might not get to find out, but that's disappointing.
So that was just because the Vickers was out of position. The only reason why they went in for that. If the Vickers just stayed in that trench, it would have been fine. But it's hard to predict your opponent's actions. If he just stayed in the trench forever, then he could have just easily cut off the other points, decaptured them, and actually a lot of shoe mines have been planted. We have the ambo moving up as well. It's good to have that in team games, especially have that aggressive ambo. And just more ghosting. Surprised they haven't fixed ghosting yet. It's not really a huge problem, but it just looks really stupid.
It'd be so easy to fix as well.
Yeah.
Just all you would have to do is change the durability of sandbags when they weren't fully completed. So you just be like, okay, like exactly how Panzer headquarters, exactly how OKW truck buildings work, in terms that small arms will be able to damage and take down a truck while it's being placed down and being built, but once it's finished, small arms aren't going to do anything at all to it.
Or even easier, just make it so if it isn't completed, it just gets destroyed. Unless it's completed, it'll just disappear when it's cancelled. But Wasp's going to be a great upgrade here. Good, safe, long-range poke. As long as you don't get caught by a Raketin. Against Wehrmacht, it's a bit easy to deal with the Universal Carrier because you have the 222, but with the Wasp, against OKW, as long as you're kiting, you'll be fine. And almost within range of Faustiev, but nice retreat with the Ambo for Sturmpanther.
Yeah,
the Ambo
nice.
has to turn off the lockdown ability.
Solid kiting with the Wasp as well, really taking advantage of that range to ensure the bolts go down. However, it should catch a Faust here.
But there's plenty of repairs nearby, especially when you're playing a team game and your opponent has Echelon and the Combat Engineers. You get the repairs earlier than you would normally get when just playing Brits on your own.
Looking towards our VPs, a small lead for our Axis to start off this game. Having had a double cap for the majority of it, already having bled our allies down to 385 VPs, suffering no losses themselves.
So we have the tier 2 here for Zarkcloud. I would expect to see a Panzer II. There isn't much static weapons, so a Stuka, it's a bit early for it. We actually had the fighting, what are they called again?
Position.
Fighting position go down. It was 2 incendiary grenades over the wall, so that was good play by, I think it was Zarkcloud, but when he had to retreat, he just threw the 2 nades and then retreated. I always call them swag positions, so I kind of forgot what their actual name was.
How often do you actually call them swag positions? Like,
All the time,
all the time? I don't know, do you? I'm not sure. Maybe you do, and I've just gotten so used to it I don't notice anymore. That's also a possibility. Panzer II will be a way to deal with this Wasp as well as the Rifleman Blobs. Should be pretty effective.
Okay, Raketin set up, but the Raketin, I think it either missed or it fired at the squad of rifles, so it didn't do anything against that Universal Carrier.
And there's weird shot block play in the middle of Mink's pocket to do with some of the trees and the hedges around them as to what shot blocks and what doesn't shot block. Really just takes a bit of map knowledge to know what does and doesn't, but I know there are issues there.
Damn it, trees.
Damn it, trees. Why are you blocking my AT? Nice dodge from Panther.
So Panzer II has arrived. Stuart's on the way here for Sturmpanther and an AEC. So actually a fair bit of counters to the Panzer II already.
Yeah, our allies certainly are well repaired.
Other than that, we have a sniper as well. We went for a mortar pit too. It's very open and you can cover a lot of ground with a mortar pit, but the fact that it's open, it means that it's kind of hard to hide it behind a nice shot blocker. So it's a bit harder to defend, but you can get some good positions with it.
Solid play with the Panzer II so far. Using it on the flank, trying to avoid any potential AT, and as the machine has suggested, it will be the mortar pit being set up in the middle. Really does become a bit of an arty fest. Even in 1v1s, there is often a lot of fighting around that central VP.
Yeah,
Can't imagine it'd be much different for a 2v2.
Where it is there, it'll probably even cover this left VP as well, and the munitions point, I would say. So it's a very defensive spot, but I think that's certainly the way to do it, because if you build it more aggressive, if you get pushed off the map just once, then you can say goodbye to that mortar pit. And where it is, it'll still cover some very important territory. That was the Kubel going down to the Stuart. Not a big deal. And 2 ISGs though. So good counter to the mortar pit if they get within range of the barrage. Just 2 of them should be able to whittle it down.
Shouldn't take too long, machine. 1 makes it tough, 2 not so much of a problem. I think that was the Artie Smoke getting thrown down, probably by the sniper.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sniper ended up getting that one in. Nice way to displace your opponent from the middle from those defensive locations from the heavy cover due to the considerable scatter coming in from the Artie. They're currently only just the one howitzer firing from the base sector.
Yeah, it's not very good, but there's always the chance that it'll do something. And when you're using your sniper, it's not like you're replacing anything. I think it may have got a model there on the Raketten. Whereas at least with the squad of infantry section, well, again, the redundant statement, with the infantry section, the pyrotechnic supplies, it actually replaces the medics. So you really don't want to get that unless you have an absolute good reason to.
Raketten not managing to get a shot through on that Wasp, otherwise we probably would have seen it go down. We'll provide some nice support for the Panzer II when it comes to dealing with these AEC and Stuart. Big flank coming in from Sturmpanther. Looks like our allies will collapse down on the middle.
Really good timing too, because he knew that on the left side, Zarkcloud was being aggressive, so it meant that the right side would have been exposed. So good coordination there, just looking for weaknesses in your opponents. Man, the mortar pit combined with the Wasp is going to force away these Rakettens, may even wipe one of them. Nice.
Rakettens can't really do anything about it as well. The Wasp is well hidden.
Yeah.
Firing from the forest.
Without burning any of them though, mind you.
Trees don't catch on fire. What are you talking about, Machine?
Well, these ones sure do.
Yeah, those ones do. Yeah. Nice and toasty for the Volsks.
At least there's plenty of fire breaks around in the advent of a bushfire.
Definitely. Yeah, it's really important to have those fire breaks cleared. You want to have at least a 3-meter gap between the fence line and the forest. Allows room for fire trucks to get through.
Also, just make sure that all your gutters are cleared of leaves and other flammable materials.
Please also ensure you have a fire plan in place. Do you go or do you stay? You need to know when it comes to fires. Ensure you got one of those ready to go, ladies and gentlemen.
Being decisive is important.
Yes.
This sniper's actually taken a bit of damage, which leaves it very vulnerable to getting one shot by an ISG shell. If your sniper takes a little bit of damage, it's generally worth getting it healed up, because it makes the difference between one shot killing it or surviving. So we have Bren's already unlocked for the infantry section. Oh, like that almost killed the sniper. And also for the US, we're going to have 4 squads of riflemen, all of which can get these M1919s. So we could definitely see the team game special of LMG blobs. But Stuka's already on the field though, so these blobs do have to be careful.
Certainly do, Machine. We see it rolling out to the middle at the moment. A sniper very lucky not to have been hit by an ISG shell, and actually a well-calculated push by our allies in the middle, leaving one rifleman squad behind in order to wipe the ISG.
Oh, 2 Rakettens are set up here. The AEC could go down, the Faust comes through. No second Raketten shot, however.
Yeah, one of them going to be pushing up at the moment, but currently it looks like they'll be blocked off by the hedges. The AC still quite low. More shots coming down the middle, and we should have the Stuka almost in range.
Yeah, I think it's firing now. There we go. What's it aiming at? And more importantly, is it going to get dodged?
Seems like Sturmpanther heard it and manages to dodge, but not quite in time for the Vickers. Vol's going to run up and try and look for the wipe here. Stop with the STGs. They really do deserve this wipe.
Wow, there we go.
There we go. Very nice.
Good follow-up. The Stuka not only killed a couple of models on the Vickers, but also he took the gunner down, which allowed the Volks to move in without being suppressed. So I doubt we'll see it being stolen, but at least it got the Vet 2 crew down and a bit of manpower bleed.
Raketten, I think, was looking to destroy it. It was actually, has been taken down, yeah. 2 Rakettens actually in range.
And there's 2 more, one more behind that. So the Stuart survives. Good preservation of this light vehicle so far. A forward assembly next to the mortar pit for that bonus.
Lock-ins absolutely across the board here, Machine, as well.
So, yeah, we have the mobile assault, most likely for that land mattress, incredibly strong unit. We had tactical support's been there for a while for Calliope, so this is really going to be an arty fest. As for the Axis, Hughes has also gone for his breakthrough. Fusiliers, I don't know if we actually have it. Oh, we have some now. Here we go. There's one of them, and really looking for that. The officer is really important if you're blobbing up, and same that's the Jagdtiger can help on a map with this lane layout. having that long-range tank destroyer can be really handy.
It certainly will. There used to be a huge proliferation of Pack 43s in particular on Mixed Pockets.
Proliferation?
Yeah.
Oh, Blake, please share with me. What does proliferation mean?
Well, proliferation, so it's a considerable quantity or amount of that particular unit. And in this case, across several games, you don't generally see multiple Pack 43s, but you certainly saw one or two when it came to Mixed Pocket. So,
Right.
yeah.
Nice.
So they're not surprised at all to see this Yugtiga available for use. Neither the land mattress for Aerafield. He actually did have a bulletin for it, which gives you some indication. Could be the double Faust.
Well, it could even be 3 Fausts.
Yeah.
There's
That's the
a
second
bit of
one.
munitions.
There
Actually,
should be some follow-up here. I mean, Faust probably won't quite do this.
It depends if he can get within range for long
Yeah,
enough. He had some
it's
munitions for
hard.
it. You'd need, I think, probably 2 more Fausts to actually kill it. No, it doesn't have enough.
No.
So meanwhile, the Stuka got taken out by the AEC. He dove that very aggressively. The ICU was wiped as well. Definitely a good trade for the allied players. Trading an AEC for a Stuka any day of the week, worth doing.
Definitely worth. Really, the investment there as well. Going into the unlock means the AEC a very worthwhile trade into the Stuka.
That being said, though, it will be 2 salvages, but that's still only a swing of 10 fuel, so it's still a better trade.
Yeah.
And also, with AECs and with light vehicles, really overall, is they're going to die sooner or later. Once your opponent starts getting critical mass of AT, once they start getting tanks, like proper medium tanks of their own, those light tanks, the medium tanks even, they're not going to last as long. Whereas something like a Stuka, or any rocket artillery, is going to stick around having a long-lasting impact. So it's more than just the sheer resource trade of, well, it's what, 30 fuel benefiting, including the salvage. It's also just the nature of how those units perform moving into the late game.
Solid bait there on the right-hand side, bow axis. Double Rocketans being set up ready to go for the Stuart. Panzer II could potentially dive the Stuart, but realistically, it has to get pretty close to consistently penetrate. And as with SMGs, the Panzer II tends to blow its entire barrage really quickly. It prematurely does damage to the Stuart, and by the time it gets up close and personal where it can actually penetrate, the Panzer II has to reload, and it's not really very effective, especially when the Stuart can just stun out the Panzer II. Again, you know, having hold fire would be cool.
Same with the Ostwind. I think it's called clipper-based.
Yes, yeah, clip-based would be the way to describe it.
So we have a fuel cache being placed down here by Sturmpanther. He has a bit of a float of manpower, so it's definitely worth doing. Unfortunately, the Axis players can't get their caches, so that's a little bit... I mean, I don't want to say unfair because they can salvage.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird.
It's inconsistent income, so it's like, yeah, having caches and... Yeah, I don't know. With salvage, I think it certainly would be a bit of a problem if we could also go for caches.
Yeah, I agree. It's one or the other.
yeah.
You can't salvage and have caches.
Yeah.
Or at least make salvage an upgrade. You have to buy salvage for X amount and then you can salvage.
Yeah.
Rather than just having it for free.
They really don't end up with a very nice manpower sink when they're filled up, and Wasp, you should not be there.
Whoops.
That is not a location you should be in.
Well, look at the Stuart. There's 2 Ricans in ambush location. Yeah, nice. That's abandoned.
Panzer II should be able to finish this one off though, so no worries. Or actually, it could be captured, Machine. All of this infantry's been forced off by the Panzer II.
Stimpires are there.
For the repairs as well.
They have to repair it first because
Yeah.
the ISG is firing. So if they get in that one... Oh, what?
Oh!
Wow. So...
Can I get a bait of the century, Machine?
Yeah, it was all calculated. So the thing is, when you're repairing, you take extra damage. I think extra accuracy as well. So it's not just the fact that the Sturm Pioneers clump up. For the repair, they also then take extra damage.
Yeah.
So you're very vulnerable while being repaired, not only to small arms but also to explosives
That was
as
a bit
well.
sad. That wasn't even a big clump though, relative to how
Not really,
repairing
no.
Sturm Pioneers normally look. That wasn't a big clump. They were actually fairly spread out. So yeah, it was all a bait. Our allies have played that one perfectly.
Admittedly, I did see that clip in a GIF before the game, so I knew that was gonna happen.
Oh,
but
really?
it was still just as heartbreaking to watch.
Yeah, it was still an Archon Hawk having to lean back from the casting mic moment. So
Yeah.
You get at
I
least
didn't
one
want
or
to
two of
spoil it
them
for
per
you.
game. Yeah, I didn't have a great time.
Oh man, here we go. This is what we love about US. The LMG rifle blobs, very hard to deal with. I would say they're probably the best scaling infantry because of the M19s, barring Obers, but that's a little bit different because they're quite elite infantry. They have a lot more utility, the infantry sections as well, and
Best base level scaling infantry. You
yeah,
could say then,
and because I think infantry sections they're bugged out in the way that they're the scoped land fields at Vet 3 make them more likely to drop Brens, so it's a bit of a liability. So we have a Firefly, very, very potent unit. Probably the best tank destroyer in the game, I would say, since the change to it. I would much rather a Firefly than a Jagdpanzer IV.
Yeah.
And it wasn't always the case that I would say that.
With that being said, I wouldn't want, and that's actually the single strafe coming in.
Oh,
we'll find
man.
the white. That's actually a really cost-efficient use, a really cost-efficient strafe there, the single P47.
Yeah,
So-
it does a lot of damage. It's actually very easy to wipe things with that. It's pretty much a guaranteed wipe on something. If it hits.
Support weapons in particular.
These Volks could go
Yeah,
down.
I'd say if anything, it's probably a more guaranteed wipe than a light arty barrage on a support weapon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is
Bit
the
of a
Volk
misplay.
squad there. And what's that, M1919? Okay, no, that's a rifleman LMG.
No worries.
And the problem with this interaction is Volks can't actually steal one of those weapons. So even if one of those weapons are dropped, the Volks can't recover it. Oh man.
Oof.
You basically have to have arty against this, or vehicles. You just can't trade with infantry unless you, for some reason, have a massive blob infantry as well.
So we'll do a bit of a VP analysis here, Machine. 294 for the Axis compared to the 301 of our allies. So our allies certainly have come back into this game, and it's like, what's there? I don't understand. It's missing.
Oh, a Sturm Tiger.
Tiger,
Yeah,
yeah.
that one's been coming along for a while. Ooh, gets the M1. You know what I really like, though? I like how it doesn't destroy weapons in one hit, but it's very easy to follow them up.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's always been like that, but I think it's a great way of balancing it out, that you can still recover it.
Yeah. Because normally in a situation where you fire the Sturm Tiger, you don't tend to follow that one up. You tend to kind of run in. Your opponent tries to move away, and then you can just back off the Sturm Tiger because obviously you need to reload. Calliope's here as well, so we'll all be Arty City. MG managed to back away. ISG's trying to run out of the arc, and it should be able to.
Is that a land mattress as well? That's a land mattress. Man, that is a lot of rockets in a short period of time.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The land mattress is certainly the more deadly of the two, I would say, Machine.
Yeah, I don't know the complete stats. The Calliope certainly scattered more there. The Calliope, it's not as powerful, but it's obviously a tank that you can't just kill.
Exactly, yeah.
But,
That's where its benefit comes in.
yeah, anyway, we have the rifleman squads here with actually a MG34 as well, a stolen MG34. One of the good counters, though, if you can get up close, is the incendiary grenades, because it means that the riflemen have to move to dodge that, and then if they're moving, the LMGs aren't firing. So if you ambush them up close, like any other LMG, then they are a bit vulnerable.
As we saw during that engagement. So.
For the same reason that Molotovs are kind of a counter in a sense to LMG grenadiers, a very classic example.
So Aerafield, he's looking pretty good. I don't mind this munitions float. I mean, advanced combat would be nice, and there's probably a couple of opportunities where you could go for that. It's pretty rare we see it though. But I mean, tulips are a really nice munitions sink, as are the vehicle crew repairs. They're pretty fantastic once you get a couple of tanks up in the field, getting the smoke and repairs down.
Well, that was
Back repairing squads.
the flare from the sniper, so we're gonna have more arty being thrown down. I like that he's using it. Not many players do utilize that that arty. So the allies look like they have map control pretty decisively at the moment, and they have caches behind this as well. So they're in a good spot overall. But I wonder how close the Axis are to their heavy tank. Will it be the Yag Tiger or the King Tiger? There's no mech, so it looks like it's going to be the Yag Tiger from Use, and then the King Tiger from Zarkcloud. So King Tiger plus Sturm Tiger plus Yag Tiger. It's a tiger party.
That is a word for it indeed, Machine. So Zarkcloud, PopCap wise at least, he's at the position where he can go for a King Tiger, but can always be an idea to kind of fill the PopCap out. If you need to throw away a squad when you have the fuel for the King Tiger, you can do so.
You talking about Use?
I was talking about Zarkcloud for the KT.
Right.
So
yep.
yeah. Yeah, Use can still go for a couple more squads.
Just because you can't get the King Tiger and the Yag Tiger,
No.
but you can get the Sturm Tiger
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the King
Yeah.
Tiger. Remember when you get multiple King Tigers?
That was the best time. I really enjoyed that. That was a great time in company of Heroes 2.
Speaking of good times in company of Heroes
Dude,
2.
it feels like our allies are the Axis. I feel like the LMG blobs, like Artie Fest, they've got double pack howitzer, mortar pit, calliope, land mattress. It seems as though the tables have indeed turned on Nick's pocket.
Yeah, if you would go back to the launch of Coh2
Yeah.
and then and foreshadow that, hey, we're going to cast a game of 2v2 later on, and there's going to be allies with a massive LMG blob and rocket artillery and, you know, like late game heavy tanks. And all the Soviet players will be like, what? What are you talking about?
I don't understand. What's going on? Using the Calliope and the land mattress in conjunction with each other, it's pretty brutal.
I think allies have pretty much always been ahead in terms of artillery, just because the Coh2 2's always been good. And the 120mm mortars too. But Axis can certainly camp pretty well, but then now since Brits, then allies all of a sudden have really good camp potential with emplacements and such. Man, this game is just not going anywhere good for the Axis though, is it?
It is not, Machine. It is certainly not.
And it's just the classic case of how do you deal with this much rocket arty?
Battle drills for hammer attacks.
I don't know, maybe we're gonna have to see some really clutch Sturm Tiger plays, because there's just too much infantry but also just arty. There's the double Calliopes, the land mattress, and there's also gonna be tank destroyers as well. There's Jacksons and Fireflies, so there's no shortage of AT.
I mean, our Axis might be fine when they fill out their pop caps with this Yag Tiger King
That was a
Tiger
rifle squad, I think, that went down.
combination. They could be okay, but I mean, yeah, as you said, Machine, even then, with the new allied tank destroyers, our allies aren't in a bad position to be able to deal with those like heavy tanks.
Is that an ISG firing?
I believe. Well, I mean, there is an ISG on the field.
Oh, no,
so
pack houses,
could
of
be,
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't even mentioned that. There's 2 pack houses on the field, and actually using the white phosphorus barrage is actually a fantastic ability to use that not many players really utilize. That's an MG34, could get stolen. Well, liberated. There we go.
A means of freedom.
Jackson won't stop you.
Panzer 2 actually still alive here, has hit Veterancy 2, being used very effectively by Zarkcloud. It can be hard to keep those early game tanks alive, and he certainly has done that by playing to the flanks.
Good bait. See, he has the Rakens moving up to cover where the Panzer 2 is, expecting something to move over. It was actually revealed by the infantry section, so they have to retreat that one.
Yeah, it could
So
be
we
forced to
have,
retreat.
it's just the one Jackson still, and a Comet. Good way to have an aggressive front line for the line of tank destroyers and artillery.
Yeah, it is. Otherwise, you really can suffer from having the balls to the wall play, just diving in really deep after those Calliopes. If you see double Calliope, land mattress, potentially you get some medium tanks and you go on in after them. But it's really not an option when there's a considerable front line in this Comet and the Firefly Jackson as well.
Jagdpanzer 4's got a damaged engine, half health as well.
Not sure what actually ran into their machine, but we do see a bit of a dive coming in. The Jackson's going to be trying to follow this one up. Rifleman 4 vision, however they will be forced away.
See, that engagement pretty much come down to the infantry shield. Because the Volks were there to force away the Riflemen, it meant the Jackson couldn't play aggressively after that Jagdpanzer 4. But now we have the Yag Tiger on the field, fires a shot on that Jackson. Now it's going to be a bit more of a fair fight here for the Axis. But Comet's on the side looking for a nice flank.
Has fired and revealed itself, so the Tiger knows it's in the area. Yeah, I mean, Zarkcloud doesn't really have enough munitions. Sink's here as well. That's going to be a problem. Would be nice if we had some artillery to throw down to try and force back this
The signal relay.
Control group in the middle.
The signal relay is fantastic though. It allows you to catch things out of position, and often you can just find your opponent's artillery, and you know when they're undefended because you use that ability to see where all their tanks are. So when you're playing against Elite Armored, it can often feel like WTF map hacks. How did he know my Katusha was there?
Yep.
But it's actually just because that will tell you.
Yeah.
It just doesn't tell you what's what, but it just gives you the icons, and it's pretty obvious. You can generally work out if there's a vehicle in the back of your opponent's base somewhere, then it's obviously going to be a caddy and not a tank destroyer.
And the top right here is definitely a case of sneaky Panzer headquarters greater than sneaky commandos.
Right.
So, just in case you were wondering. Commandos think they're real sneaky, popping out of a garrison, and they find a sneaky Panzer headquarters on the VP covering it. Not a great trade, but he's actually stealthed here. So.
Yeah, they're stealth, so the Panzer headquarters can't fire on them, and again, you can't micro that, so you can't attack ground.
And wait, did they stealth on the truck or inside of the Panzer headquarters like shots? Oh, can you select the squad and see where they've? Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure the Panzer headquarters gave them stealth by attacking the ground and giving them somewhere to hide.
The light cover. Yeah, wow.
The light cover that's caused by the Panzer headquarters firing. So a very polite Panzer headquarters will actually mean our allies get on that triple cap.
Yeah, and that's pretty dangerous because there's only 130 VPs left, so the Axis do have to act fast. And there's just so much manpower bleed if they try and catch this middle VP. The Ag Tiger's going to be firing on the Calliopes. And we have a Sturmpanther squad with an LMG.
I think Zarkcloud's really annoyed. He's actually building an Ober squad just to deal with those commandos. He's not a happy chappy. Jackson's rotating up there as well. Maybe to snipe down the Panzer headquarters. That could be nice. However, it has lost the support of the commandos.
Well, the Rakans are forced off, so now the Jackson should have some pretty good free reign here. The Jackson can't go close enough to get vision because then he just gets forced away, but it can just sit at max range, firing through fog of war. It'll probably scatter a lot of the time, but eventually it'll get the job done. But the Jagdpanzer's moving over. The Jagdtiger hasn't killed anything yet. It hasn't done too much. Oh.
Has missed a lot of shots though from what I've seen.
Yeah. It's interesting that we're actually seeing the pack howies rather than mortars. They have more range, which is very important on a map this stretched out. The rectangular orientation means range is very important.
Yep.
And the mortars have been nerfed in this latest patch that we are now playing on, the US mortars.
I'm not sure if we saw anything go down there, Machine.
No, I think it was just some models, 3 models go down. Yep. Still, the VP situation is not going good for the Axis, ticking down. Yeah, 78 remain.
I'm not sure what they're gonna pull. What are they gonna pull out here, Machine? I don't see a viable way they can retake the middle in this. They decide to go for the left and try and hold that, but even then, it'll still be under mortar pit fire, and it should be under rotational pack howitzer fire if they decide to go over in that direction.
I think it's pretty impressive that the Axis have kept both of these trucks alive, despite how much artillery there is. And that's the vision plane for the recon run. It's going to allow some artillery strikes to be a little bit more accurate. Gets the Raketten. Gotta be careful of the Calliopes though against the Jagdtiger. He may get it here. He's not moving the Calliope back. Does he have vision though for the second shot? Oh, he missed. So that may be an attack round, I'm not sure. Assault arty's used.
That's one way for our Axis to regain the middle, and things are getting desperate, Machine.
It's very back though. It's going to miss this entire blob of infantry.
It'll miss the VP, but it'll force anything behind that off.
You can get the ambo. We have the left side being captured here by a squad of Volks. Comet's there to intercept.
We're about to finish and stall this one out.
Alright, let's see the assault arty. May even get the sniper. You can never be too sure what this thing actually hits.
Yeah, it's hitting a lot of nothing for the moment, but...
Oh, that would have got the sniper if he didn't move
the sniper would have gone down there.
Oh, he did,
The
got it.
sniper goes down anyway.
The Volt's retreated
So
safely.
that follows up with the smoke as well. So our Axis should rotate into the middle, but there's so much stuff here.
Yeah, it wasn't too effective, but getting one sniper is not bad. And the middle is being captured. There's actually a Vickers here, though, so I don't see the Axis holding this middle VP.
No, I doubt it, Machine. The top actually was successfully capped in the favour of the Axis. However, the Volts were forced off by the Commandos. Commandos pretty good in that scenario as well, if they managed to find a good route to attack those Volts Grenadiers, even without the veterancy.
Zarkcloud's not too far off getting his King Tiger, but there's already 2 Jacksons and a Firefly and a Comet. And the new Tulips means those heavy Tigers can be caught out and punished. Even the Yug Tiger, they could probably kill this Yug Tiger from the front with a nice use of Tulips. But maybe not with the Jagdpanzer for support.
And the bleed continues, Machine, now down to 62 VPs our Axis. Allies, PopCap's getting close to filled out. Sturmpanther, he's on 96, and the 79 at the moment for Aerafield, so a bit of reinforcement for him to do.
Oh!
Ooh, okay, that was onto the Comet.
Direct hit there with the Comet. So can they follow this one up? It's actually stunned as well for a little bit.
Jagdtiger should be in range. Oh no, even the Jagdpanzer 4 tries to rotate in, but the Comet managed to back off in time. It's actually a really nice position for the Sturmpanther to reload. It was covering a flanking route.
Oh, the Firefly comes through. Tulips connects. There's nothing else there for AT, and the Firefly was scared away by the Yug Tiger. So the middle actually is going to be captured, it seems. Jackson's going in, but the Yug Tiger's in position, and there it goes. Jagdpanzer and Yug Tiger will take a Jax down to 1 shot.
The land match is going to finish off both an Ober's squad as well as the Volts Grenadiers here, and the bleed continues. The middle wasn't decapped, Machine.
No, it wasn't. There's only 50 VPs left. This is the priority right now. Running into the Vickers arc, but there's 2 squads there. Volt's going to be flanking that one for now.
Should be able to get the nade off here as well. It will force the retreat from the Vickers. Our allies are going to surrender control over this central VP.
That's going to push all the artillery back. Oh, building a Panther rather than going for the King Tiger. Maybe he's pop-capped. Yeah, I think that's why. No, it's not too much, is it? The Panther is 16. I think the King Tiger is 19, so that wouldn't be it. And he has all 3 trucks. Oh, that's weird. Either way, still a lot of units on the field here for the Allies.
Alright, several of them, however, back at base, currently repairing. It's so hard for our Axis to actually hold position under all this
the
flare
Volts.
fire. Could be another Volt squad going down.
And the Yug Tiger and the Jagdpanzer haven't been repaired. They're both quite weak. This Panther's taking a bit of punishment from a flank from a Jackson.
Jackson's not going to win this one head-to-head, and the Panther manages to back away. Nice micro. Both of them getting 1v1 pretty hard by the elevation. Sturmpanther shot should be available as well, and that's always something to consider. It's still playing around the flank, I believe, Machine. Oh, no, it's back in the middle. Back in the middle now. It was previously behind the hedges on the left-hand side, but it's come back to the middle now. Central VP in the hands of our Axis. The bleed has been stopped at 45 VPs.
The recon plane. Oh, Piat blobs. That's what we want. And Artie from the land matches. Piats are a great counter to the Yug Tiger. Even the Sturm Tiger as well. As long as you avoid the shot, obviously. Such a big vehicle. It means the scatter from the Piats will pretty much always hit. And the bounce damage is decent.
Sturmpanther looking for a shot here. Hasn't found one yet. It might find the rifleman, though. No.
Prevents them from capping and staying still.
Captain's going to be forced to retreat here as well. Our allies struggling to find a way back into the middle here. The Zarkcloud has lost several squads from the indirect fire, down to 61 pop cap.
The Yug Tiger can also use the supporting fire as sort of a HE barrage.
Yeah.
It's not amazing, but it's better than nothing if you have the munitions and the time for it.
Certainly does contribute.
So the Comet hasn't been fully repaired yet. Oh, he doesn't get the commandos. Gets 2 models, forces it off. I think an ISG got a couple of models there of the engineers while repairing that. Yeah.
Comet's playing a pretty dangerous game with the amount of tank destroyers on the field.
Yeah, Jagdpanzer's looking for it.
Comet's backing away in time though, should be fine. solid micro across the board from our allies. Really have avoided losing any of these tanks, too many of the infantry squads, and our Axis just coming under the face of so much indirect fire. You can't blame them for losing models on squads and losing squads. It's a hard thing to avoid when you retreat something on 5 models and it still goes down.
Okay, the Panther's been pretty aggressive here. This middle VP's been neutral for so long and no one's really actually held it. Sturmpanther's gonna have to get forced away here. But even then, it's gonna have to untick to neutral, and once again, the no man's land of this middle VP is neutral.
This game could stall out, Machine. It's just, it's hard for either of our players to manage to find a cap, but the army is standing on either side of it. Oh,
there it goes to the Raketin.
The massive flank from the Raketin News has been stealthing these things around for a while, and it's nice to see him finally get a kill with it.
Okay, Jackson's next.
And that's the loss of the tulips as well here for our allies. We'll have to probably see that Firefly rebuilt, and indeed we are seeing it rebuilt at the moment.
Jagdtiger's getting some good veterancy. A Vet 2 is a nice boost. A lot of infantry on the middle here, though. Is the Sturm Tiger going to be available? No, it's reloading and back in base. Oh, using the supporting fire now.
Yeah. I actually found a couple of nice
Gammon
shots.
Bomb from the Commandos, I think that was. Zarkcloud, it doesn't have much infantry left at all, but Hughes actually has a fair bit. Vet 5 Volks and even a Vet 5 squad of Jaegers too, which surprisingly don't even have the G43s. What's that Calliope doing?
He's a little bit too far forward. That could definitely go down, Machine.
Out of vision. Oh, no, it's not! What?
But not out of Jagdtiger range, my friend.
Man, how do you know that was there? That must have just been a nice attack round, I think.
Could have been a good attack round. I don't think we see any anything going overhead that could have given vision there, Machine. I think that was just a solid attack.
That's one Calliope down.
Well.
There's still 2 more.
Yeah.
One of which hasn't been repaired yet, so it's still at half health. Even if it's only a very small repair, but just having a gradual repair can make the difference between 1 and 2 shots, so that even if you don't have the time to fully repair, at least just do a 5% repair or so, because it makes a big swing.
The engagement still led another 5 VPs away from our Axis here. They lost another 10 during that engagement. That's VPs they really can't afford to lose.
Oh, doesn't actually get the Vickers there. Sturm Pioneers, though, they don't have this middle VP. It's still ticking down in favor of the allies. The Volks are being very aggressive here. They've found the ambo, well, a little bit behind, and oh no, he was repairing the Sturm Tiger, and now it's abandoned. The Vickers is actually within range of the Volks, but it does get gunned down.
That could be crucial, Machine.
You can just recapture the Sturm Tiger, I think, though, with a squad of Sturms.
Yeah, I think the Sturms are going to get there in time, but that means still more delays in terms of the capping out. Because so it's been recruited now. A few of these bazooka shells are actually going to bounce off.
Oh, it's available.
Must have already reloaded.
Wow. That was a nice shot.
I think our allies Sturmpanther, he didn't think it was reloaded.
Yeah, that would have been why.
He assumed that the Sturmpanther was backing away there, and so used the rifleman aggressively, and it cost him 2 squads and 4 models. Wow, that was incredible. That could be a nice little comeback for our Axis here, Machine.
Well, there's 3 Calliopes. Sturmpanther has pretty much only been going for these Calliopes.
Oh no! I was going to say the Calliope's main gun destroyed, but I think that actually affects the rockets as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. Where are these Jacksons, though? There's one abandoned. Well, the one is left there intentionally, I think. This Panther go a little bit too deep. Yeah, the crew's nearby. And then he had a second one, but he must have lost that. I don't remember where.
Commander's getting on top of the point. I don't think oh, nice. This is really nice, especially when you're low on VPs. Sending individual squads out to have a nosy around on VPs can be fantastic. In this case, Sturm Pioneers are going to find a free VP decap.
To have a nosy. Almost Vet 3. And the rate of fire bonus that it gets is so strong, because it only takes 2 shots to kill most tanks. And when they fire so quickly at Vet 3 and later, then it's hard to micro around that.
Saka Axis is going to hold on to the central VP in the Sturmpioneers are going to be cleaned up by, I think, one of Sturmpanther's tanks. What's heading up there, Machine, to the left VP?
Oh, just commandos. I think
Yeah.
they spawned. No, yeah, they
commandos.
spawned.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they don't have any vets, so they were a new squad. Panzer 2 is still alive. It's vet 3.
Very safely microed, which is nice to see. And there's still that really annoying Panzer headquarters on the right side
Yeah.
VP from Zarkcloud. It still hasn't been dealt with. Even a booby trap on it
That's
as well.
clever. The booby trap's there to see if it gets captured and blows up. That's from Obers? Yeah, it's from Obers. I think it's the Comet. I believe it's Jaegers and Obers that can get the booby traps.
Yeah. One of the problems here as well, Zarkcloud, 700 munitions, but where is he going to put it?
Oh. Damage engine on the Comet.
Maybe more work into signal relays. It is indeed. Jagdpanzer 4 wanting to follow this one up. Vol's going to be giving vision.
Should be using that's the wrong player. I was gonna say should be using his heat rounds, but of course, Hughes can't do that. His breakthrough, he's not Zarkcloud with the elite armor. And Tulips, Firefly gonna be here for the Tulips perhaps. There we go, that's gonna be a dead Jagdpanzer. Piats were there as well, so a little bit too aggressive there. Sturm Tiger fires, oh, land mattress goes down. Pack Howitzer, what was there? A trench.
Trench was
Okay,
there,
no,
yeah,
no.
it was just a trench.
Big deal.
Nothing more important than that. The Panther also diving in here. Will it chase after some Calliopes?
Uh-oh.
How aggressive does it want to be?
Oh, don't feed vet to this Firefly. Well, actually, maybe not. Won't matter because of the vet 3 Jagdtiger's there. Oh no, backs away.
Yeah.
I gotta say, overall, the allies have been doing pretty well. They're not losing too much to the Jagdtiger. And at the same time, they've also been good at splitting up their forces against the Sturm Tiger. Apart from that engagement earlier where they must have thought the rocket was blown.
Do our allies potentially try and rotate to the right-hand side VP and deal with that the Panzer headquarters machine? I mean, at least they won't have to deal with the Jagdtiger. It's very hard for the Jagdtiger to rotate over to that right-hand lane.
Yeah, they can probably
Be a
do it.
threat.
Exactly. The Jagdtiger is the real problem, is it can't rotate points easily. And other than that, there's a Panther and a Jagdpanzer 4, and it's not a lot of AT. But at the same time, the Allies don't have much mobile AT either. They've got a Firefly, and maybe there's a Jackson lying around somewhere, but there's not a lot.
Really nice commando flank that would be forcing off 2 MGs here, Machine.
Ooh.
Both of them having to retreat. And that could mean our allies get onto the central VP.
Nade takes out those Sturm Pioneers in the middle. I don't know what that was from, actually.
The P-47 going to be coming in.
There's no nades on our rifleman. Maybe it was just a pack out shot or something.
Vol dodged the strafe there. Nice game knowledge, backing off to the right-hand side. I think that was the likely cause of the red smoke.
This Panzer II is going to be so effective at rotating over for that left VP once it gets to Vet 5. It suppresses infantry at Vet 5,
Yeah.
so you're going to have to send the tank destroyer to deal with that Panzer II. Panzer II and a Jagdpanzer 4 on that left VP should be a pretty effective combo, especially if there's mines.
Certainly agree with that, Machine. Aerafield with a pretty big fuel fight here, up to 450. So the ability to rebuild these tanks manages to save up a bit of manpower. How's it looking in terms of squads, Machine?
Who, sorry?
Aerafield. So yeah,
Commandos.
double commando, infantry
He's got
section.
Piats.
Firefly obviously very important, as is the Comet and that mortar pit. So that explains the pop cap fill.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Maybe you can't go King Tiger and Sturm Tiger. I'm not actually sure about that. I mean, I assume so, because Zarkcloud isn't going for his King Tiger.
Yeah, you mustn't be able to. So, I mean, I definitely knew about you couldn't go Jagdtiger and King Tiger. So, I'm pretty sure, yeah, when they did change that, they must have changed it for Sturmtiger as well, which is a good thing.
Yeah. That's why he just has so many MG34s. So it's pretty effective, though, because it means that it's going to be really hard to cap this middle VP underneath the arcs of 2 MGs. Left VP's been captured again by a new squad of Volks. I like how the Axis are sending a fresh Vet 0 squad to cap that, because then if they get wiped there by something, it's not really a big deal. You don't want to send your fully vetted squads deep into enemy territory, because then you can get wiped easily, and then that's a big blow and hard to recover from.
I would like to see maybe a Comet here from Aerafield, and then just sending Comet after Comet, and just like, I don't know, maybe trying to kill the Panzer headquarters on the right-hand side, and attempt to send squads to cap that and try and hold it, force the Jagdtiger out of position, knowing that it's currently in the center. It's just such a huge fuel flow, and once the squads are reinforced, he's in an okay manpower situation. Just sending individual combat, even if it dies, I mean, the veterans you're feeding for tank destroys isn't as much of a big deal as the potential gain from killing the Panzer headquarters.
500 manpower is quite a fair bit, but yeah, that would be nice to see. Especially with the tulips, it gives you a lot of safety. Because if you get caught out, then you just tulips your opponent's tank and run away. And speaking of getting caught out, this could be what's happening right now. Wow, that rate of fire on the Vet 3 Jagdtag is insane. There goes the vetted Firefly. Almost Vet 4 now. Rotation rate is going to be a very strong buff.
VPs are not looking good at all for our allies. They need some variety of a large ditch ploy, and it will be commandos versus that Vet 0 squad. Thankfully, they are forced off. Currently a triple cap. 108 VPs remaining for our allies now compared to the 21 of the Axis.
Oh, these MGs are so clumped up, though. But still, it won't take long for the allies to win the game if they hold the middle.
No. If this cap actually goes through, Machine, but will we see the pin? The MGs have stuck around.
No, it finishes. Pin. The left side will get capped as well.
But not quite in time. It should be enough for a decap. Our Axis won't even bleed VPs here.
Looking for the right side. Echelon going to be capping that one.
Capping
but probably won't be able to with the booby trap and the Panzer headquarters.
Need some tank support. They don't have the sweepers. Maybe once they're in friendly territory, we'll see that sweep upgrade goes down, and their Sturmpanthers going to be moving in. Up to 23 kills. Well, what will it find? I'm guessing a support weapon.
It's going to find some Piats.
So I was going to go for the Piats.
Yeah, gets the AT gun.
Goes for the AT gun. Removes the support for the Piats, and they will be forced off.
That booby trap did nothing.
Yeah.
Oh no, because it killed a squad of commandos.
Yeah, the commandos spawned out.
Ah, wow.
And they were slain, and now the rear echelon have turned out. But the Panzer headquarters, again, it's still a problem. It hasn't disappeared.
I think that booby trap ability is so strong. It's pretty inconsistent, but it's always worth using it for the chance, especially when you have so much munitions floated up.
These MGs on 1 and 2 models respectively are just saving it for the Axis. The Volks are going to get in time and stall this one out just.
And they're both pinned, so the cap won't come through.
There's the P-47 coming in as well.
It's gonna, well, it misses the Volks entirely.
Yeah, the Volks run forward just a couple of steps and it's going to be enough to dodge away.
That was pretty nuts, and there's Echelon there as well. The Volks retreat, but now there's Jaegers here, a very durable squad, so that's good in this late game situation.
Caps are coming back in favor of our Axis on the right-hand side as well. They were actually bled down to 14 VPs during that whole situation. And the caps that went down. So down from 21 to 14. Now, allies, yeah. All I would say is maybe just 3 Calliope barrages on the same spot and make sure the MGs go down. That should be enough. And then just blob up. And there are 3 MGs, so that could be difficult.
We also, I don't think we've seen Sturmpanther use nades at all. No, maybe he could be making use of the smoke grenades.
Smokes, yeah.
But the problem with that, though, is then...
He doesn't even have grenades unlocked, and there's no reason for that, yeah.
Is when you smoke and cap, and the Sturmpanther is like, okay. Alright, bro, cap the VP, that's fine.
Give it a shot.
Smoke doesn't save you from Sturmpanther.
I'm gonna go, here.
But if he knows the barrage is down...
our allies, honestly, no. Our allies could win this game by committing everything to the right-hand side and killing the Panzer headquarters. They only have to hold the VP for less than probably 30 seconds to a minute in order to win this game with only 14 VPs remaining. They can just leave the middle, leave a squad of commandos to stall out the left side VP, commit everything to that top VP. They don't need much. You just take out the Panzer headquarters, snipe it down, and then even just throwing your Calliopes in front of to block off tanks and infantry units. They'll just win the game automatically.
Yeah, the Comet can definitely 1v1 that Panzer headquarters. But it's risky though, because if they commit everything, you can easily get flanked and go around and cut them off and there's no retreat path.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, we're talking 14 VPs here, and at the moment at least, they're aware that the Axis don't have anything on their right-hand side. Twice they've sent units to that area. Yeah, I just don't think throwing units at the central VP isn't a great game plan.
Well, they've been doing it for a long time, and it's almost worked. Let's see. Once again, the strafe in the middle doesn't actually pin those Sturms.
That was pretty much a triple Calliope barrage, by the way, Machine. And still 2 MGs are alive here.
Ooh.
Calliope's backing away.
Yeah, Panzer went very aggressive there, but it couldn't find a kill. Those Calliopes are pretty vetted, actually. One of them's Vet 3, one is Vet 2 as well.
74 VPs for the Allies.
But now there's no booby trap. And
no booby trap.
So that's still pretty vulnerable, this right side VP.
Yeah. Yeah, even a smoke cap works machine. It's not going to take a lot.
The commandos smoke it at Vet 3, so here's the strat. Run your commandos in,
Yeah.
retreat, and then get another squad into cap through the smoke that the commandos left.
Genius.
And we actually have the Vet 5 Panzer 2. Is that 38 kills?
Sorry?
Yeah, 38 kills.
38
That's pretty
yeah.
impressive.
37 infantry models, yeah. Incredible micro.
Okay, Comet's going in.
But to the middle
This
machine.
is a pretty bad time. He's getting caught on a tree. Comet v tree. Looks like this could go down to that Yag Tiger. Oh no, it's so slippery at Vet 3, that Comet. But that's down now, and that Comet's gonna have to get repaired. It can actually just pop the crew repairs.
Yeah,
Not
with
a- not a
61
big deal.
VPs left to go, machine. I don't think it's going to pan out.
It's just a matter of time until the Sturm Tiger's reloaded before this M1 goes down. I think that's kind of the problem with this map, though, is the corner VPs should be much easier to cap. They, maybe over
Yeah,
here
that's where they should
and over
be.
here. Kind of like Lungers is where you have those maps where there's really only one VP in contention. And then it's obviously just going to be a massive Arty fest. And in 1v1s, it's not as bad because Arty is easier to die. But in team games, when you have just so much supporting AT and suppression, then it's really no surprise when you design maps like this and then it just ends up being an Arty fest every time.
Yeah.
And still, some pretty effective wipes with the Arty, but on the left side, the Vox going to be capping up that left
even
VP.
that should be enough to end the game here, but the Comet making its emergency way over to that left-hand side.
The Panzer 2 went down.
Ends up being finished off, and the Comet's not actually going to be able to stall out this cap on the left-hand side machine. And that should be the Axis game. Our allies just decide not to commit to that top VP, and I still feel like that's a huge mistake.
Actually, he killed the M1 with the supporting fire from the Young Tiger in combination with some infantry as well.
Sturmpanther is reloaded and is ready to go. The Comet's going to be forcing off units on the left-hand side, but our allies can't do anything here. There's a Panzer headquarters on the right. There's nothing that
Well, Vickers gets hit.
our allies can do. And they decide to go for another Calliope. Sturmpanther went for another Calliope. He has 4 Calliopes. It's not really what he needs. I mean, it's one way to kill MGs, but it just hasn't worked out. Okay, so allies get a bit of a stall with 1 VP finishing here, but they're down to 21.
Oh, not commando flank.
Really committing to this middle now. They're looking for the MGs. These commandos just need to commit to kill MGs machine. That's all they need to do here.
Well, they got one down. Maybe a second one too. Yeah, it gets 2
You see a
MGs.
Gavin bomb down on that MG in the middle.
No, he smokes.
Okay. Smoke's going to be enough. That could be good. Our allies could find the cap here
I
machine.
mean, that was his retreat.
Yeah.
And yeah, actually the middle is up for contention. There's 3 squads v1. Calliope wipes the Jaegers, so maybe we'll go over to the allies.
The allies just have to commit everything to the middle now, whereas the Comet needs to get over here. Everything does machine.
Well, there's 2 squads, the Jaegers and the Vox.
It's gonna
Oh,
be
they retreat. Why did he retreat the Piats?
I'm not sure, machine.
They're gonna die for sure, but it's worth leaving them there to stall this one out. And the Jaegers retreat. Vox are in the fight now. I think all the Calliope... Nope, just kidding. Another one's coming through now with this barrage.
Barrage is still going. That actually dropped a model down to 1 model. That means the cap's going in favor of our allies here, machine. We're not seeing squads come in.
MG's not really within range.
It's not in range. It needs to go forward.
Yeah, and now the middle could get captured. Jagdpans are rotating in as well.
If the cap goes down, that could be the game, machine.
Oh, dear.
Stay on the point. Our allies need to stall this point out. Get everything onto that central VP. Axis, they don't have anything to rotate over to the left in time. Get on the point. Get on the point. These riflemen need to get on the point. I don't know why they don't have smoke.
Well, we have a lot of Axis squads moving in. MG. Jagdtiger's very far forward. It is Vet 5. It's going to be an absolute beast. Now the MG gets wiped. Riflemen are moving in. So are the Jaegers. This is maybe going to be the Allied game. There's nothing else left here. There's a Sturm Tiger, and the Tulips come through. This could be a dead Sturm Tiger. Comet gets wiped there, and there goes the Firefly as well. Absolute carnage.
Our allies have nothing, but I think they're going to win the game, machine.
Yeah, they have nothing, but they have the VPs. Oh, wow. Sturm Tiger gets doesn't even kill the commandos. GG. Well, that was the world's biggest comeback. That wasn't actually a comeback at all, because the Allies win.
Losing a capture point.
They could have also used breakthrough as well to get it to neutral
get it
quicker. I don't think they
neutralised, yeah.
did, but I mean, even then there were still squads there pretty much the entire time. Well, the Allies
Can't
won.
believe that commitment to the middle worked, Machine. I honestly thought the game was over.
But you were right, man. All they need to do is kill the MGs.
Yeah.
And then the commanders went in, killed
Killed
all
the
the
MGs.
MGs, apart from that one.
And got the retreat smoke with the commandos as well. I think that was planned because Aerafield had the commando squad right on top of the MG when he retreated. And, yeah. Helped with the stall out to the central VP. And the Callipies were used so well that just one at a time, the barrages came through to stop the infantry from our axis from preventing the decap.
Yeah, when they were capping the VPs, if the Axis ran their squads forward to basically on top of the riflemen, they kind of just kept them there on the bottom of the VP when they knew that there were Calliope barrages coming. So I mean, a lot of little mistakes, obviously, and that's just the nature of playing in any game of Company of Heroes. But overall, well played by the Axis. The Yug Tiger was very successful. Got to Vet 5. It's still alive now. Got 14 kills, 9 of which being infantry. Which is probably because of the supporting fire.
Yeah.
I like how he actually used it. Not many players do. And yeah, I think we said it. Definitely could have gone for that VP earlier on the sides. I like how the Axis were trying to. They were constantly trying to go for this left VP. Maybe it would have been worth just leaving a trench and a Vickers, making it harder to cap away. But yeah, any last words?
No, I think that covers just about everything. Probably towards the end of that game, it would have been worth our Axis sending the P2 over with the infantry as well to prevent those commando stops. So every time they sent a Vol squad over, the commandos would pop out. But if that Vet 5 P2 was over there, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And it would have been much easier for the Axis to actually hold on to that one. So that was also a possibility. It started to be a bit more of a hindrance than it helped in the middle during those engagements, but yeah, it was GG. I enjoyed that. That was great.
Yeah, Zarkcloud ends up with 650 fuel and 1,250 munitions, but no manpower, and that's not really a problem because his playstyle he went Sturm Tiger Panther, and he went mass MG. It's MG. And how do you spend munitions? Your MGs can't fire heat rounds. Your MGs can't get tank commanders.
Yeah, I guess all his squads are Volts are fresh ones. I was going to say, like, where the STGs at, bruh. But
actually,
they are all on Vet 0.
You know what? Maybe the Panther should have got the Panzer Commander, because it gets more sight range, which helps the main gun, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, more sight range. And then you get the Arty barrage. It's a pretty average Arty. It's very short range, so it's hard to use, but it's at least it's better than nothing. And it will be, a way to blow through that much munitions, where realistically, how much was that Pintle actually doing? You killed 11 infantry, sure, but, having that barrage maybe would have helped in that situation.
Sure.
Anyway, that'll wrap us up for now. So thanks for watching. That was a pretty action-packed game. I mean, they felt like this was a Michael Bay film. Company of Heroes 2, Revenge of the Fallen Callipies or something. I don't know. Bit more CGI as well.
Yeah.
There's no live action Calliope rockets here. But anyway, if you want to support the channel, then please do consider doing so via Patreon. We are relying upon the generous backings of our Patreons to keep working on the channel full time and posting videos every day. So any of that would be appreciated. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.
Cheers, guys.